Hello there guys, and welcome back to another Forza Horizon 5 video on my channel. So today is a bit of a different video on the channel, but it's one you will see, or a type of video you'll see more often on the channel in the near future, and it's to do with updates, specifically updates to do with Horizon 5 obviously, because that's what the channel is focused on. So today, or should I say yesterday, the 3rd of December, we got our very first kind of full update for Forza Horizon 5. We've had like a couple of tiny hot fixes in the past month or so since release, but yesterday we got our actual first kind of update. It included loads of new cars, but also quite a lot of fixes to like major issues within the game that I and you have obviously experienced. And if you haven't experienced them, then you haven't really played the game, because it's pretty hard to avoid any of the issues that I mentioned in this video that have been fixed. Quickly though, before we start, as it says on the Forza website, where it says about all the stuff that's been fixed that I'm going to be running through today, it does say that they haven't fixed all of the problems within Horizon 5, but they've tried to tackle some of the bigger ones, such as the online connections. You'll know if you've played in the past few weeks that with all the new players joining, like 10 million plus players joining, the server's just been overloaded, and even with them increasing the server capacity since Horizon 4, they've just been absolutely crap, to put it lightly. So they have kind of fixed a bit of the online, and I'll run through the different aspects of online that they have tackled in this update slash hotfix. And also they fixed some of like the cheaters in the game. They're trying to clean off the leaderboards, but we'll go through that as we go on. And I'll also go through all of the new cars that are going to be added in the next few weeks or months as well. And also, I just want to say before we start, if at any point in this video you see or you hear somebody trying to shoot my window, nobody is trying to shoot my window, it's just the rain. In the UK the weather is crap, it's the start of December, the weather is crap. So yeah, we've just had a massive downpour just before I started recording, so if it starts again, then you know why, just blame it on the weather. But hopefully you won't be able to hear it that much over my voice, but you never know. So, there's a little bit of a special thing I want to tell you as well, just before we get into what's coming in this update. On Monday the 6th, so 2 days from now, the Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go stream and Forza Monthly stream will be on Forza's YouTube and Twitch channel. So on YouTube they're just called Forza. I don't know whether there's anybody trying to impersonate them or not. There probably is. I think they've got a couple of 100,000 subscribers, so they'll be doing them streams on there. Or the Twitch is just twitch.tv/Forza. Pretty much it. Pretty simple. So I just thought I'd let you know that on the 6th, so Monday the 6th of December, in 2 days, they will be streaming what's coming in Update 2 and Update 3. So currently we're in the last season of Series 1, if I go all the way to the end, and as you can see, if I go all the way to this end, we've got a holiday special for Series 2, and it also says that we're going through what's coming in Series 3 as well, which will be January, the weeks in January kind of thing, so that might be something to do with New Year as well. And also they'll be doing a stream as to what's coming elsewhere as well, like on the Forza Monthly they do, like that ALOT guy comes on with the esports. Don't really understand any of that, but if you want to watch it, I just thought I'd let you know. So that's a new thing that's going to be coming, like the map, and there's going to be loads of new features coming for the Christmas period. It's now the 4th of December, so we're well into December now. Well, I say well, 4 days into December, so you'll probably have your advent calendars opened, and you'll be cracking into them. You've probably got your decorations up like me. So yeah, there's going to be a Christmas special, so I just thought I'd let you know about that. So if you want to watch the stream on Monday, which I'll be trying to do, if not when it actually streams, I'll be watching it later on. I'll be seeing what they're going to be adding for the Christmas thing, and I might even do a video on it as well if I feel that there's going to be loads of stuff, which I'm sure there will be, because Forza always do manage to pull it off. Let's just hope that all of this new Christmas stuff doesn't wreck some more features, but hopefully it won't anyway. Okay, so the first thing I want to start with today is there are over 20 plus new cars in Forza Horizon 5 coming over the next couple of weeks. I presume these will be within Series 2, and they've been found in the game file, specifically the Horizon promo in here, and you can find them. So if I go, for example, to Audi, which is just here, you've got the 2018 Audi TT RS. As you can see, it's got a little down arrow in the bottom right of its icon. That means it's going to be a download, so you'll probably have to pay for it. It'll probably be in Car Pass. That's a hint to Car Pass, but there's also some of them that don't have that, which will probably be featured in the festival playlist of Series 2 by completing some of the festive championships and stuff like that. And for also the seasonal bonuses as well, like we had in Horizon 4. So I'm guessing that's what they're going to be at, and I'm going to show you all. I think I counted 23 on my list, but I might have missed like 1 or 2. But I've been through AR12 Nick's and Jake X3X's video, and they had a couple of different ones. They both missed like ones that the other got, etc. So I've got what I think is the full list of 23, but again, if there's any I've missed, or if there's any I've included that you don't think are new, because I don't have many cars yet, so I don't really know, I'm just going off what they said, then let me know in the comments, and I can always correct it in the pinned comments or in the description. So that's the first one, the Audi TT RS, and to save me scrolling through the whole list, I'm just going to jump to the next one, which is the 2013 Donkerfort D8 GTO. So this is, it's kind of a similar car to the Caterham R500 and the Ariel Atom, except it's a bit more crazy. It's a track toy, as you can see. It was in Horizon 4, don't know why it wasn't in at launch, but yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to have some fun with that, yeah. Then, if we move on to Ferrari, there are actually 5 new Ferraris, one of which is the Ferrari Monza SP2 from 2019. I do believe, if I'm correct, this features in this series of Top Gear in Britain, so if you're either in Britain or you get the British version of Top Gear on your TV in your country, I do believe this car features in the next couple of episodes. I think tomorrow will be the 4th episode. I'm not sure how many there are. I presume there's 6 or 7, because that's usually how many there are, but as usual I'll be watching it. I never do videos on it, but I do watch it, trust me. So that's a pretty cool kind of convertible sports car. It's actually classed as a Super GT, but you know, whatever you want to call it realistically, quite a cool car. Then we've got the Ferrari FXX Evo from 2018. Apologies, my phone's just decided to slide off the chair itself, which is a bit weird. So if I go over here, you can see we've got the regular FXXK. It's a bit of a mouthful saying that, so I'm just going to say FXXK. See, I've just said it, haven't I? So that's from 2014. However, we've got the 2018 Evo version, which, as you can see, it's got a much bigger wing. It doesn't really look too different, but it's in a different colour. It's in like the modern Ferrari colour of white. I say that, but these are black and red, but we'll just go with it. And it looks pretty cool. So it's classed as an extreme track toy, so who knows, we might be able to send that round some tracks and get some PBs on rivals and stuff, which would be cool. Then if we come down here, we've got the 2017 Ferrari J50, another kind of, this is classed as a supercar. I would have called it a sport car, but modern supercar here. Also looks to be a convertible, so hopefully when these get added, we'll be able to use the convertible feature on them, and I'll be talking about that later in the video as well. So yeah, we've got that. Then if we pop over here, we've got the 2010 Ferrari 599 GTO. You might be thinking, Shylo, that's not new. You'd be correct. It was in Horizon 4, but for reasons I cannot explain, it apparently wasn't in the release of Horizon 5, and it's now in the game files in the Horizon promo. I haven't checked it, but I'm just going off what others have said. Then if we move over here, another one that you might be surprised at is the 2002 Ferrari 575M Maranello. Again, it was in Horizon 4, but it's been added to Horizon 5 now, or it will be added for us to get in the next couple of weeks. And then, I'm not sure whether that's the last one. Yes, so that's the last one from Ferrari. Then if we jump over to Ford, which is just next to us, I don't know why I bothered doing that, we've got, if I come all the way over here, as you can see, Ford is quite populated. We've got the 1971 Ford Mustang Mach 1. If I remember rightly, unless it was this one here, one of these two was in the car pass, I think, of Horizon 4, and for some reason it's not added in Horizon 5 yet, but it's in the game files, so we'll be able to unlock that and add to our classic muscle collection soon. Then, if I move over to Jaguar, we have I think I've put 3 Jaguars down. So we've got the 2015 Jaguar XKRS GT. That's also a bit of a mouthful, but not as much as FXXK, especially at 10 o'clock in the morning. So that's a really cool car. I don't know why it wasn't in Horizon 5 at release, but glad to see that back. As you can see, we've got the regular version here. Then we've got the 1993 Jaguar XJ220S TWR. Here you can see we've got the regular one. And this is kind of a souped up one with a rear wing, window stickers, etc, etc. Pretty cool car. Hopefully we'll be able to take that. That looks to be a download, so that's probably coming in car pass or part of a car pack that's going to be added in the Christmas period. And then finally for Jaguar, we've got the very classic 1966 Jaguar XJ13. Pretty nice to see them adding some British cars to kind of celebrate Horizon 4, so I'm glad to see that. Now, if we move on to Lamborghini, there's actually 5 of these. So, to start off, we've got the 2020 Lamborghini Huracan Evo. If you think that picture looks a bit fake, which is initially what I thought, it's because if you look on all the others, they've kind of got a shadow under the car. That one hasn't, so that's why it looks a bit fake, but I'm sure that'll be fixed when it actually gets added. Again, that's got a download symbol next to it, so I presume that's going to be part of the car pass. So that's going to be a really cool car, one of the highly requested cars, along with the 2018 Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. I know a ton of people have been wanting to see this. Me personally doesn't know what the difference between this, and this is, but if you want to see it then feel free. It looks pretty cool, to be fair, I'll give you that. So yeah, that's going to be added soon, and that hasn't got the download symbol next to it, so I would presume it's either going to be given to us or it's in the festival playlist or something like that. Then next on the list we've got a 2012 Lamborghini Aventador J, so this is the convertible Aventador. Again, don't really know the difference apart from it being a convertible, but that was in Horizon 4, so nice to see that back. Then we've got the I think it's 2011 Lamborghini Gallardo LP570 Spider Performante, 2012, as you can see there. Apologies for that. I've actually driven one of them in real life, so I can say they are very cool cars, so I'm really glad to see that back. And then finally for Lamborghini, we've got this over here, the Lamborghini Espada 400 GT from 1973. Me personally doesn't know what the difference between these two is, but again, we'll take it. Okay, so next, here's a fan favourite you'll be wanting to see back. And yes, Peel has returned to Horizon 5. The godly Peel P50 and Peel Trident, they have returned. So I don't know whether it took a bit longer to get the license back from Peel to put these into the game from Horizon 4, or whether they just wanted to save it for a bit of a surprise. Anyway, which either way it is, they are back in the game, so super excited to see these be featured. Probably somebody's going to make an event lab creation where you have to drive a stock Peel around the Goliath or something like that, but you know, there we go. So that is going to be probably Forza Horizon 5's new slowest car, and it's now going to be slower than the BMW i-Setter, which is cool. Then if we move on to Toyota, we have got 3 new Toyotas, so thankfully the license for the Toyotas has been in Horizon 5 since the start. So we've got the 2016 Toyota Land Cruiser AT37 and the 2008 Toyota Hilux AT38. So these were both used on the Top Gear Arctic Special. If you watch that, I obviously have because I like Top Gear. So if you want to watch that, I think it's available on BBC iPlayer or Prime if you're in the UK. Not sure whether any of them services are in other countries, so I can't say that. But very, very cool cars. I always used to love them for cross country in Horizon 4. And then the other Toyota is the 2003 Toyota Celica SSI. Really, really cool car. Kind of a modded sports car that some boy racers use, but in Forza it's going to be really, really cool. Maybe for some B-Class, A-Class racing. I personally love these cars. So yeah, going to be really cool to see them. And then we've just got a couple more. So if we head over to Vauxhall, I didn't actually know that this wasn't in the game at the start, but according to JakeXVX, the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton from 1990, which was in Horizon 4, it wasn't in Horizon 5 at launch and is found in the game files again. And then finally, if we go over here to Zenvo, we have the Zenvo TS1. I actually think it's meant to be called the ST1 because I think that's what it was called in Horizon 4. That might just be a mistake that they've made when typing it in. But I'm just going to call it the TS1 for the purpose that that they're wrong and I'm right, but you know. Anyway, so the Zenvo TSRS is in the game already, so it's the TS1 that's now in the game. So super cool to see that, because I quite like that car actually. Zenvo are actually really cool. So that is all the cars that are coming to Horizon 5 in the next couple of weeks. We might see some more, but they're the cars that we've found in the Horizon promo and the car in the game file. Sorry. So yeah, really excited to see them. So now what I want to move on to is I'm going to pop back onto the Forza website. So if you go into your message centre, you go into news, this message from, mine says today, but I think it was released yesterday. It's just because I didn't turn my game on yesterday. So as you can see, it's telling you about the update, and if you follow the link that's second from the bottom, so aka.ms/FH5 update blog 2, if you type that into Google, it brings you to the ForzaMotorsport.net website, and it brings you to the article where it tells you everything about the Forza Horizon 5 update. And also a quick mention, if you go into your gifts, if you haven't already claimed it like I have, you'll see a message there saying you've been gifted 1000 Forzathon points. That is just a kind of reward that Forza have given us for our patience, or not patience, with the game being a bit broken from launch. So now I have 3063 Forzathon points. Yeah. So I can buy 10 super wheel spins if I want to. Yep. Anyway, so if I now scroll down the Forza website, I'll be able to kind of read about a few things. I won't read everything because otherwise we'll be here for like a couple of hours, but I'll read some of the key things that have been fixed, like online issues and cheaters and everything, so that you can get like the picture. And then if you want to read it all yourself in detail, then like I said, just follow that link in your message centre or type it into Google and you'll find it. So firstly, we've got convoys. So as you probably know, if you've played, then yeah, convoys pretty bad, let's say. You couldn't really sync the convoys, people wouldn't sync in, it'd just have that constant whirling sign. Sometimes you couldn't even create convoys. Like me personally, when I've been trying to play with some of the SG crew, I've had to fully reboot my game to be able to get into a session and then find a convoy. Absolutely ridiculous. And then people would just disappear off your map, you get disconnected, all of that. So they've kind of fixed it so that people aren't disappearing off your map. And also when the leader of the convoy accepts a Forza link invite, all players in the convoy will be put into it. And it also says that when you go on your map, sometimes the people in your convoy, if you hovered over them, it'd say that they were like in D-class car. That's now been fixed, so it shows the correct PI of their car. I noticed that actually, so I'm glad to see that fixed, because obviously that was false. So hopefully convoy connections and being able to actually sync and create a convoy is now fixed. Next we've got Horizon Arcade. So you will have noticed the Horizon Arcade has been pretty much impossible to complete, and that's how you've been getting your Forzathon points. That is not how I've got my Forzathon points, because I've only done 2 of them, and 2 of them I have failed. So yeah, you pretty much have to have like a full convoy or like tons of people. Like me and Lorax did it the other day. There was like 7 of us and we only got to the beginning of round 3. So pretty ridiculous, to be honest. So it says here on the website that they've kind of lowered some of the things. So not all of the targets that you have to reach have been lowered, but some of them like reach 10,000 miles an hour overall across speed zones, that's been lowered a bit, so it's a bit easier to complete and not as impossible. And also they've tried to make it so that more players get into the same session rather than loads of them spawning. There'll be 2 people completing each one. All them people will be kind of joined together, so you've got more of a chance of getting all 3 rounds completed. That's essentially what it says. And also it says there's a few bullet points here. So it says like I mentioned, adjusted completion requirements for some events. So that means they've kind of lowered the requirements, like I said a minute ago. It also says they've increased the time at which a Horizon Arcade event radius will appear on the map ahead of it starting to 10 minutes. So I think it was previously like 4 or 5 minutes you would see it on your map, and then you had that long to get there if you didn't have fast travel. That's now been increased to 10 minutes, so it gives you a better chance of getting there before it starts, and therefore more people can compete and get your score up. And if you don't know what radius means, it's kind of I don't know whether there's one on my map now. No, there isn't. But the radius, if you see this barn find circle, the radius would be the distance from the middle, like where my cursor is, to the outside. The diameter is from side to side, radius is from side to middle. So essentially that's what it means. Just a bit of maths for you there. And also, that's pretty much it for Horizon Arcade. Obviously, like I said, the main changes to that is that there's going to be more of a chance of you being able to complete it. Then we've got a fix to Horizon Open. So if you played Horizon Open recently, you probably realised that there's been lots of really long loading screens. The races have been a bit weird. You've got, like in drifting, you've got all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive drifting together, which is a bit unfair. If you watched my video the other day, me raging at the Eliminator because it was just really buggy. Again, I'll link to that at the end of this video if you want to watch that. So the Eliminator, I'm hoping that's going to be fixed. I'll have a read of it in a second. And you also notice that like some of the races, some of the cars have been a bit ridiculous. So it says, we've refined Horizon Open to provide a smoother, more streamlined and more enjoyable racing experience, which is what it was intended to be. First, the number of races in open racing events before a car change has been reduced from 5 to 3. So instead of you doing 5 races in the same car class and then it move on to the next one, it's now 3 races. So that means they're a bit shorter, you can get them completed quicker. We've removed the Goliath from the pool to prevent the long wait times for race completion, and we've also eliminated S2 cross-country races from the class rotation. So it doesn't say that they've removed the Gauntlet, because I remember we did the Gauntlet in a dirt racing one on stream last week, but they've removed the Goliath because obviously somebody would have to get to the finish line, then it would count down 30 seconds for all the other people to be DNF'd. So they've removed that so that you're not going to be waiting as long to get it completed if you're in a really slow car. And also S2 cross country will now not pop up, which is very beneficial actually. Furthermore, street races in Horizon Open will now be at night, and also the traffic actually spawns now. You may have noticed that it doesn't spawn. And then there's a couple of other things to do with icons being a bit more visible. Lastly, we've introduced randomised car drop spawns positions in the Eliminator. As we continue to work on further improvements to this game mode, we've also changed map filters to include the Eliminator map under multiplayer events rather than festival sites. So hopefully that means that the Eliminator is not going to be as buggy as it was when I did it the other day. Then we move on to exploits. So, as you will have noticed, there's been tons of cheaters, way more than there were in Horizon 4. Like, we thought Horizon 4 was bad for cheaters. Horizon 5 has been much worse. So on, like, PR stunt leaderboard, rivals, even people cheating in, like, Horizon Open, speed hacking and stuff like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. I really don't know why people bother. But it says, basically, they're taking necessary steps to alleviate their harm towards both the game and our players. Firstly, any lap times from Event Lab Blueprint events will no longer be erosionally posted to the rivals leaderboards for the race route at that corresponding starting location. So essentially, if you've created an Event Lab route starting at one of the races and you get a faster lap because your race is shorter than the actual event, sometimes it would have posted that as your lap on the event when actually it wasn't. They've removed that, so all lap times will be now legit. I'll just stop myself from being disconnected. Then it says, let me just catch up to where I was. Additionally, players are no longer able to post rivals and PR stunt leaderboard scores when using modified game speed settings. There was a thing in Event Lab when you could boost your speed. JX3X did a video on it actually. You could boost your horsepower by about 50%. And some people would use that to their advantage to set scores on speed traps when in Event Lab. That's now been kind of eradicated from the game, and hopefully that also means that people using modified accounts and speed hacking on like PC won't be able to do so anymore, which is really, really good, because that's a really big pet hate for me, really. Similarly, it's no longer possible to tune a car to a higher class before starting a race originally intended for lower PI vehicles. So some people would have tuned the car while they were waiting for the race to start, which would have then given them an advantage because they were in a higher class than all the other people. Now we move on to the convertible. So it says we're ecstatic by the response to convertible cars in FH5, but your number one request for this feature has been loud and clear. You want more cars to support it, and we're excited to deliver on that. Free run convertible functionality has been added to the following cars. Now there are only two. The 1945 Willys MB Jeep, where like the windscreen or the shield, that's like, it's not really made of glass, it's like just part of the car, that folds down onto your bonnet, so it's kind of more realistic to what it would have been in like the army. And then also we've got the Porsche 918, which is the car I'm in, and that's actually why I'm in it. So if you notice in the bottom right where the speedometer is, you can see it says click the left joystick, and that puts your roof down. So I apologise for the Forza wing on this, it's one of my seasonal tunes, but yeah. As you can see, the roof goes down, and if I click it again, the roof goes back up. So there's this and the Willys that have received that, as well as some other cars like the McLaren, the Ferrari Portofino. Hopefully we'll see more of that in the future, and like I said, with some of the cars that are found in the game files, we'll be able to do that as well, like the Aventador J, for example. It also says that the Porsche 918 has improved engine audio, because apparently they improved it for Horizon 5, but most people are saying it was worse. That's now been fixed. So I'll give you a quick rev. Mine's obviously modified, so it's not the stock sound, but it hasn't been engine swapped because you can't do that. So there you go. That's the engine sound of the Porsche 918. Now, if we carry on, it says we've also made some additional changes to cars as detailed below. So there's 5 bullet points. So for the 2018 BMW M5, apparently the front left brake caliper was in the wrong colour. They've corrected that. For the 1970 Mercury Cyclone spoiler, which is the new car pass car for this week, the stock brakes can't be painted, so that's obviously a bit of a bug. The DeLorean logo on the car collection screen was a bit bugged for some people. I heard on JX3X's video that some people were seeing it as Citroen. It's now been fixed to be DMC. Then it says reduce transmission whine on stock car audio. So basically, for stock transmission, your gears won't be as like whiny as they would be in real life. And then the Infinity Car Collection now awards the Stonks Forza Link phrase. So that was obviously a bug where it wasn't giving you the reward. Now we move on to expeditions. We fixed the crash that could occur when replaying the Canyon expedition, as well as a soft lock in the Baja expedition. An issue that caused the player to get spawned in the wrong location when replaying expeditions has also been amended. For co-op play, we fixed the issues with the destination pin, as well as AI cars disappearing. Then there's quite a lot of bullet points for accolades that have been fixed. So you may have noticed you couldn't complete some of the accolades because they just wouldn't let you complete them however many times you tried them. I'll read out a couple of them, but if you want to see all of them, then you can go to the link like I said earlier. So it says we've made various fixes and improvements to accolades, including how some could reset to being incomplete despite the player having already cleared the objective. In addition, issues surrounding other accolades not unlocking or providing incorrect unlock information have also been fixed. So I'll pick out some of the better ones. So it says fixed an issue with accolades for photographing the statues in the El Camino story. So when you had to photograph some of them, it wouldn't let you do it essentially. A shortcut in the Lucha de Carreteras story. When you took that shortcut, it wouldn't complete it, so that's been fixed. So there's quite a few kind of races and chapters that have been fixed where it wouldn't let you do them. Also, some of the things where you could pin the accolades, it wouldn't pin them, so that's also been fixed. updated the Cannon Run accolades to use the correct name, so I'm guessing it means it was Cannon Run and it's now Canyon Run, I'm guessing. Corrected the number of air skills required for the air in a G-Wagon accolade. Fixed money to burn accolade directing players to the wrong drift zone. I guess that would have been pretty annoying. I haven't done that one yet myself, but that would have been pretty annoying. And finally, update Don't Break It, there isn't many left accolade to inform player of danger sign it needs complete. That's just a few, there's about 12 to 15 on that list if you want to see them. We've also added the ability to jump to unlock rewards within the accolades menus, which should make it easier to locate your prizes. Some accolades have been removed due to how they could become incompletable as they require the player to complete a PR stunt in a specific car. Furthermore, an issue where pinning accolades for some danger sign objectives were not set the correct route has also been fixed. Now we move on to Event Lab. There's only a couple of bullet points for this one. So it says, props will now appear as the colour variant selected before being placed. I haven't tried it myself because I haven't really used Event Lab yet, but apparently some of the props would be in the wrong colour, which I would imagine was pretty annoying. Remove some erroneous props present in the stadium when creating Event Lab events. Fixed an issue where players could not see their own events in event blueprints menus. I imagine that would have been pretty annoying as well. Renamed place variable in rules of play to rank to be more accurate. Fixed an issue in Blueprint Builder where prop thumbnail wouldn't appear, so that's all of them. And then in the Super 7, we've amended an issue that stopped players from receiving new Super 7 challenge cards, as well as another which caused challenge props not to load in after publishing. We've also fixed the problem where players could experience a long load if creating a challenge far from a road. The second pre-event screen for Super 7 now shows title and description rather than the creator and description, while an incorrect voiceover line when returning to free roam from Super 7 has been removed. Now for the festival playlist. Seasonal PR stunts had a pesky bug where they would sometimes require 1 mile an hour or 1 feet or 1 metre more, despite the player already meeting the completion criteria. This is now fixed. In the festival playlist we've also added the option to view eligible cars for seasonal PR stunts, so I'll show you that now. That's actually pretty helpful to be fair, so thank you for that. There you go, so view eligible cars. Except it doesn't let me do it because I've already done it, but here you can see it does it for the championships, but they've now done it for the stunts as well, so if you haven't completed them it'll let you do that. Furthermore, we fixed an issue where the festival playlist displayed more points earned than what's meant to be achievable and reduced the Horizon Arcade completion requirement, so that's really good. So previously you had to complete all 3 rounds to get the arcade complete, which is why it was nearly impossible. Complete any Horizon Arcade theme. I'm guessing you only have to play 1 or 2 rounds. Haven't tried it yet, but when I do I'll be sure to let you know. Now for PC, this doesn't apply to me, but if you are on PC, in addition to ongoing stability fixes, Forza Horizon 5 has received numerous PC specific fixes and improvements. First, the messaging around outdated drivers has been made clearer, while an issue where the pause menu could show 2 tabs at once when changing focus away from the game and unpausing with a controller has been fixed. We've also prevented the mouse from being able to move the camera during a pre-race cinematic, and fixed an issue where mouse input was being ignored after completing a Horizon story. There's quite a lot of things to do with other fixes and improvements. The list is about 25 bullet points long. I'll just read a couple of them. Made car restrictions for Horizon 2 clearer. Fixed issue where beating a record in rivals and series rivals wouldn't provide a new rival in the post-race screen. Fixed an issue where the Luga Tranquilo player home could become locked again after having purchased it. Fixed issues with clipping on various clothing items in Character Creator. Fixed prestige stars not appearing in online leaderboards. I noticed that one very, very much. So it appeared that a guy was on level 2, but actually was on level 2 with prestige 1, if you get what I mean. Is there any other? Fixed an issue where players were able to skip the whole race in Chapter 2 of Lucha de Carreteras. Fixed an issue where the radio could not be turned back on after turning it off. Updated fast travel message from pause menu to correctly inform player it will take them to the nearest festival site. I noticed that one. So if you click this one, it says it there. It would always say Horizon Festival Mexico, but it would take you to the nearest one. I actually figured that out before they actually realised, so I guess that proves I'm smarter than the developers. And then added new accessibility option to progress Horizon stories without completing previous challenges, which aligns with our efforts to ensure everyone can enjoy FH5. And then the final thing on this is we hope this Horizon 5 update provides a more enjoyable and stable experience for you. The team will continue to develop new fixes and improvements for future updates while incorporating player feedback to help us identify additional problems. On top of everything detailed above, today's update includes some upcoming series updates which you'll hear about very soon. Stay tuned and we'll see you all in Mexico. So this update was actually available yesterday, but if you haven't downloaded it yet and your Xbox or PC hasn't got auto update on, all you need to do, it should, if you start the game, it should fire you back out and say it needs an update. Otherwise, go in the My Games and Apps thing in your Xbox tab, and it will, if you go into updates, it should let you do it. If it doesn't, then let me know, I can try and suggest something else for you. So, that is essentially all you need to know about the update. Again, I haven't read out everything from there, even though I've read out quite a lot of it. I haven't read out everything because otherwise we'd be here for another 10-15 minutes. But if you want to see it all, once again, head over to your message centre in the My Horizon tab of your pause menu and follow that link down there, aka.ms/FH5 update blog 2, and I'll see you when the rain has stopped. No, I'm only joking, so you'll probably hear the rain outside now. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more update overviews in the future, then let me know. And if there is another way you want me to cover this to make it shorter or explain it more, then let me know in the comments. I would always appreciate your support, seeing as I haven't really done any of these videos before in Horizon 5. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, like I said, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!